side note, got a designer review for you today. We're going to take a look at a fragrance from the house of Emmanuel Ungaro. This one is called Ungaro. Man, complete blind buy for me, guys. I saw it at TJ Maxx one day, looked it up online on my phone on Fragrantica, so I bought a lot of my cheapies, saw some reviews and grabbed it. And before we talk about this one, let's briefly talk about the house. I'm sure you've heard of Emmanuel Ungaro. It's a French design house. The family is Italian. Emmanuel's father, who was Italian, actually fled Italy when the fascist rule came to power under Mussolini. And his dad really influenced him. He gave Emmanuel his first sewing machine in 1955 after World War II. Ungaro moved to Paris from French countryside to work under Balenciaga. I'm sure some of you also heard of Balenciaga. He worked there for a while, moved on to a couple other houses, and then 10 years later, in 1965, he started Ungaro. Right off the bat, his line did well. He came to be known for this drape style of clothing with these really vivid colors and patterns, and in 1973 he got the funds to start a men's line. In 1983 they released their first fragrance, which was called Diva, and as of today the company has a few different labels for types of apparel. For a very short amount of time, Ferragamo owned a stake in the company. During that time period, Emmanuel Ungaro Perfumes was created to take their fragrance line to the next level. That eventually became a partnership that also included Bulgari, and it was under this partnership that the Apparition line of fragrances was created and the first men's scent came out. In 2005, Emmanuel Ungaro retired, and a gentleman named Asim Abdullah, an Arab entrepreneur, took the company over, and they still actually do in-house fragrances. There are 42 scents in the fragrance lineup. The earliest was released in 1983 and the latest in 2015. Now, as far as my history with Ungaro goes, I do have a cashmere blend overcoat that I got from Century 21, which is beautiful, and I love it. Some of the earliest suits I got, right after I got out of college were Ungaro, and I always thought they were pretty good for what they were. As far as fragrances go, I own this one, and I own Ungaro number 3, which I might review down the road. As of now, I do not have any plans to purchase other fragrances from the house. This one was a 2008 release, and it only has 3 notes on it. So the notes on it are basil at the top, tobacco in the middle, and cedar in the base. You can find this one, guys, online for really around that $20 price point. I picked mine up for $15 from TJ Maxx. It comes in 50 and 100 ml sizes. Fairly sure this is the 100 ml joint. Does it say? Yeah, it's the 100. I'm sorry, this is a 90 ml bottle, right? Yeah, so 90 ml. It's got this curved glass, which is cool. Ungaro is embossed on the back so you can see through it. It's got a curved plastic top, which is kind of difficult to get off, and clicks in place. And it's got a Good Atomizer. I did throw the box away, but the box is pretty neat. It has these like Midnight in Paris by Van Cleef & Arpels, black, midnight blue, and silver colorway to it. So I actually really like this bottle. As you can see, it is curved, and it's relatively heavy. So I actually think the presentation of this is really well done. As far as the fragrance goes, this one is okay. It's got a little bit of that bologna cologne vibe, to quote Fragrance Bros. Basil at the top, right? So fresh and green. A heart of some very refined and nice tobacco leaf that has a little bit of sweetness, and that greenness in the tobacco are situated on a pretty generic woody base. That in essence is the whole fragrance. It's not complex, it's not strong, it's very light and inoffensive, and it smells good. I can't front. It's a nice smelling cologne that would do really well for someone like looking for a starter scent on a budget. But I can't sit here and pretend to give you some big and complex note breakdown. because it just doesn't exist. This is a really simple scent with nice balance. I do enjoy the crispness of the basil with the tobacco. It's a very nice combination, but this scent never evolves. It's linear, and I think that real linear nature to it really contributes to its mediocrity. Performance on this one is bad. It's not as light as, say, 4711, but there are lots of fresh, light scents that really sort of shame this one. I don't get good projection. Longevity isn't bad, but it's not good. It's sort of those you pay for what you get scents. It certainly has a masculine vibe to it, but anyone who just wants to smell fresh can pull this one off. Summer and spring, this will be fine. Way too light to really hold any weight in colder weather, and I think you could do this at the office or gym. I think you probably want something with a little bit more soul for important occasions. If you couldn't get this, you couldn't find this one, or you just want something similar that's a little bit better, there are millions of lighter tobacco scents that are fresh tobacco scents. They're just leagues beyond this. Aldinsbrook, the Aftershave, Tabaron by Creed, Cigar by Remy Latour, Dreamer by Versace. If you want to go the basil route, Riverside Drive by Bond is a very good fragrance. Tokyo Bloom by different companies, got a nice basil vibe to it, or just Polo Blue by Ralph Lauren has a very aquatic green basil note to it. So you can do any of these and smell a lot better. This is just another generic freshie. If someone were trying to talk you into purchasing this, I think they'd probably say, hey, it's cheap, cool bottle, I got respect for Ungaro, and it smells nice. I think if someone were trying to talk you out of this, they'd say, there's so much better out there. There's just no real reason to purchase this fragrance. So for me, this is a very clear 5 out of 10. I can't kill it. I like the bottle. I think the box is cool. The price is right, but there's no reason for you to own this. The options at this point are just so many. You can spend 20 bucks and get so many good scents, even at a TJ Maxx. So getting this one just doesn't really compute. Now, if you do get it, it's going to do fine for you. But I'd be really surprised if you got a compliment or this bettered your life or outfit in any way. This is sort of where men's scents went sour. And it's sort of the negative... It's sort of the negative fallout of fragrances like Acqua di Gio and L'Eau d'Issey doing so well, because what happened is a lot of houses tried to replicate that aura with a lighter budget, and perfumers who just aren't as special as the big guns who did those scents. And, it's left the bargain bins just satiated with these really mundane fragrances with no soul. And that's sort of the trap that you fall into when you're looking at fragrances at a discounter, because you're looking to find that next big thing. Trust me, I've been there. But so often you take a shot and the fragrance smells very generic and lifeless like this one, and that's basically what happened here. So hopefully you won't make that same mistake. Now maybe you will smell this and say, no, I dig this, I like the basil and the tobacco and the cedar. So everyone's got their own nose. For me, I can't imagine me going to this one too often. You could see I got a lot left. I think I wore this once, and then I actually, for the review, I wore it a couple days, and this is what I think of it. So if you have any questions about it, guys, please feel free to reach out. I'll be back with more videos next week. You guys know what it is. My name is Maximilian, and I must out.